with Mr. Marvin Carolina for some more questions. Did you like that first part?
Yes, great.
Are you ready for some more questions?
I'm ready.
Okay. If we can have a volunteer from our audience like to come up and ask Marvin some. Yes, Brian, come on down.
Easy questions are appreciated.
There you go.
We'll get you a couple softballs.
All right.
First, you're a football player, so I just want to make sure you're not a Steelers fan, first of all.
Oh, boy. He had to go there, didn't he?
I'm a huge Steeler fan.
I knew it. You're in Kansas City now, so we got to.
Chiefs won this year, so everything's
That's
good.
right.
Chiefs
We're all
won.
good.
You guys are good this year.
We're all good there. But serious question. After owning a business for almost 25 years now, I'm just curious how you guys vet out, crazy people that call in, because we've all met them. There's always a percentage. 90% of the times where we've needed to be corrected, I think people have been pretty fair with us. But there's always that element out there that are just, they're wrong. And how does the Better Business Bureau handle vetting those?
That's one of the, I think, one of the specialties that we do. We actually vet all the calls. We just don't take it and put it on somebody. We actually vet them. We ask them questions, or we vet them. We give it to the owners. They actually have a chance. So it's a back and forth. It's not just we take the call and they get a complaint. There is a system, which few other companies do, if any, a process that we go through to get to really what happened. And we bring the business in on it. It's not just a one-sided story. We actually bring the businesses in. That's one of the commitments that the businesses have with us, that they will answer all of the complaints, meaning this is what they said happened, this is what you said happened. Can we come together? We have mediation and arbitration if it gets that far. But we just don't take complaints and just put them on somebody's profile or put them on somebody's report. We vet all complaints or concerns.
Great. Thank you.
All right, we've got someone. Here he comes. Step right up. Between the lines. There you go.
Well, thank you, Marvin, for being here and sharing your words of wisdom with us. It's fantastic, and sharing your story. I want to get your thoughts on, congratulations on your position now with the Better Business Bureau. What's your vision for the Better Business Bureau and where you headed with it, and also this Trust Awards? Can you tell us more about that?
Yes. First of all, where we're headed to be more proactive with businesses and make businesses better by our namesake, if you will. And that's going to really help the whole marketplace. I mean, all we want is really trust in the marketplace. What we have been doing is really depending on the consumer to kind of tell us, and then we give it, like we talked about earlier. But we have an opportunity to help businesses owners understand what's going on in the marketplace. What is required now that wasn't required 5 or 10 years ago, maybe when they first got into business. But how do we help you before you get into trouble, before you get some complaints, before you become not profitable, before whatever happens? How can we be more proactive in pushing that agenda forward? And so now we're going to be much more proactive, and we've already started it, obviously, in working with businesses. So that's what we're doing. The second part of your question was?
Trust.
Trust. The Trust Awards are coming up in May.
New awards.
It's a brand new awards. Awesome. We want to award actually companies who are trustworthy in the marketplace. We actually had a competition. They competed to see who signed up for it. We had judges to approve them, and we want to reward them, and we want to highlight them here in Kansas City of the businesses that have really followed our line of the letter of the law and done well.
And what is the date for that?
That is May 8th.
May 8th. Okay. Put it on our calendar.
I knew my help would be there somewhere. I'm thinking May 8th.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks for all you do.
Yes, and we invite everyone out. Absolutely.
Right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Martin.
This is easy.
This is easy. It might be an easy day for you. Anybody else? Okay, we got another taker. Come on down, Reg.
Well, first of all, I would like to say congratulations.
Thank you.
I've been an entrepreneur my entire life.
All right.
And you hit some very key notes. Absolutely. And so often, what's being verbalized is rarely what's being said.
Right.
And so trying to educate people on trying to identify what's being said. You know, somebody says, I'm upset. Okay, but that's not it. You're not upset. Okay, you might be emotional about something. And so let's identify that. And so that's kind of how do you handle that? And the second part is, how do you make people follow up? Like, it used to be pride. You know, oh, somebody called me. Now, I mean, you used to run to the phone and grab it off the wall when it was ringing. Now you look at it, oh, they're not in my, no.
Right. The first one is, I think we're oftentimes in a hurry, and we don't take time to really listen.
Right.
We don't really pay attention to what somebody is really actually saying. The first step would be to slow down and just try to understand people when you're having conversations of what really is going on. What really is the root of what, and then sometimes you can just ask. Can I ask you this really, I mean, I know you're upset. I know a lot of things are going on. Can you just tell me really what you want? And oftentimes it's something very simple. And we make it complicated. We make it definitely more complicated. So if we can just slow down and listen more, because sometimes halfway between they're trying to explain something to you, we're cutting them off. And it's like, okay, they haven't finished what they were saying. Maybe you're missing some vital information. So, but if we're able to slow down and listen more, I think that would be the first step. The second part of your question was?
How do you get people the pride or the commitment to follow up?
Oftentimes, it's not that they don't want to. They don't have a procedure that's in place, a process that's in place. Every time we finish a job, every time we take a call, this is what we do. We don't have that. If you put that in place, it just becomes automatic. And so you're not thinking about, okay, I have wanted to call you back. I really have, but I haven't had a chance. You don't take a chance. It's just part of the procedure. And what happens is we waste a lot of time because we don't have a procedure in place. Well, we have plenty of time to call people back, but there's nothing in place that creates that routine. And this is just what we do. This is just what we do. This is what we do. People call from 8 o'clock to noon. We start calling them back from 2 to 4. It's just part of what we do. It's intentional, and it's just part of what we do. We don't. If that's not in place, when will you call them back?
And if you have a procedure like that, the reason most people don't call back is because they are adverse to having confrontation. And they automatically think this is confrontation. So in other words, someone has to win and someone has to lose.
Right.
And so they're already geared up. That's why they don't even let the person finish saying what they're saying. They're already geared to win. Okay, and so your comment, which I totally agree with, step back, get out of the conversation and be part of the solution.
Right, because sometimes when somebody's upset, they're going to go on. And you just got to sit back and sit back and like, okay, I got to get in here somewhere because they're not even giving me a chance. But you have to, and you have to come back with something that's not offensive or charging at them, not aggressive.
Totally.
I understand that. I understand that. Let me ask you a question. Something, you got to kind of calm the situation down because you getting upset and matching their frustration, you're done before you get started.
Yeah.
So you have to do something to calm them down and step back.
Totally. Thank you.
Thank you.
Validation. I hear what you're saying. Right? It just takes the air right out of the bubble.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Marvin? Okay. All right, and that wraps it up for Executive Summit. Thanks so much for joining us today. One more round for Marvin Carolina, please, of the Better Business Bureau. All right. Whew. Good stuff. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.